the phylum of the Animalia is going to do what it would do. If it's a scorpion, it's going to stab something. If it's a frog, it's going to eat a fly. And if it's a whore, it's going to have another penis in it. You just know. You just know. And so when it goes back to, can you turn a whore into a housewife? You cannot. Only God can. If that whore finds God, that whore can occasionally rise above into out of whoreland into, I am no longer a whore and penises are bad and I only want one. Only God can do that. But at their heart, they're not foundationally unwhorish. The best thing that you can do is find a woman of class. It doesn't need to be of money. You could have class with a family that's been together, that's a hardcore family that cares about things, that it has the right values, that understands the value of not being a whore. And that is what you latch on to, ladies and gentlemen. You don't go for some IG model with big tits and nice ass. What? Maybe you do. Maybe you do. Maybe that's bad. Maybe, but you don't go for it. You don't marry it. You understand.
Yeah.
Unless it's making $2 million a year and you're okay with watching that whore get banged out by other people. There are cucks that are okay with that. But if you're a foundationally decent human being, you go after class. I can't imagine, dude, I can't imagine. We're talking about Gen X. We didn't have to deal with Instagram whores. We didn't have to deal for us, like a whore back in the day was a girl that we heard slept with somebody from another school. That was like, oh, she fucks.
Yeah.
She fucks somebody from St. John's. Oh, good. You're a bad girl. I didn't know. She just doesn't want people to know. Like that was a whore back in the day. Now these girls are posting their horshness on the
Absolutely.
IG.
Right in your face, mom.
Your face. The morals are gone. The mystery. And by the way, mystery is everything. Women look better in clothes in a lot of ways. Like you want that mystery. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Mystery is
I know exactly what you're talking about, man. It's fucking there's nothing, they don't leave anything up to the imagination anymore.
start throwing your twat and your asshole in the screen. You have no value in it. It's not interesting anymore. Even if it's a nice twat and a nice asshole, it's very devalued. Just
I'm not gonna look at it.
You look at the asshole and the twat, but it's like a De Beers diamond. It's supply and demand. When the supply is unlimited, which is a picture on the internet, it's an unlimited supply of your asshole and twat. The value, the demand goes way down. If you want your asshole and your vagina to be worth a lot of money, you have to hold it. You have to
show it yet. Don't show it yet.
You
Leave it.
Show it. You don't show it. You don't show it. I understand
Not yet.
money. I understand there's money guys going, can you shove a piece of peanut butter with a chihuahua's tongue up your asshole? I'll give you $1,000. I understand the temptation.
That's small money. That's small money. It's for the future.
If you keep your class together, you keep the clothes on, you don't show your asshole or your vagina, and you say, I'm going to not get these big money offers for my vagina and my asshole or my titties, you will make way more money in the future if and only if you make good decisions from there. If you want the cheap money, if you think the cheap money's right, I understand there's a lot of people out there that don't believe in themselves. They don't have the self-confidence that I can do it without my asshole and my vagina. But I'm telling you as a guy, 100% real, keep it to yourself. Don't show your pussy and your asshole and your tits. It's worth more money. Hold it. And then eventually, if the amount comes so much that you can't say no, some Saudi goes, I'll give you $1 million to show me a nipple. Well, fuck. You know what I mean? I mean, at that point, but you hold it until it's worth a lot of money. Don't just go showing your tits for fucking $1.50 a month or $10 a month. I'm gonna shove a fucking dildo in my asshole for everybody at $10 a month. You've now cheapened yourself. You're now a cubic zirconia. As pretty as it is, it's still cheap and fake. And at the end of the day, who's gonna marry you? Who's gonna procreate with you?
You're gonna be all alone.
You're gonna be alone, or you're gonna be the butt of jokes.
And
Literally,
if you do procreate, your kid's going to be able to pull up all that shit that you put on the internet.
"Hey, Johnny, Johnny, look at this. This is your mom shoving some beads up her ass. Johnny, look. This is your mom. Don't run away, you pussy. Johnny, you fag. You
No
fag.
wonder the fucking suicide rate goes up.
I mean, dude, here's your mom sucking. Look, here's your mom getting a facial. Hey, Johnny, here's your mom getting blown on her mouth. Oh, look, can you fucking imagine being Johnny or Johnny? There's now millions of Johnnies out there with their mothers getting loads blown on their fucking mouths, going, what the fuck did I do to deserve this? Like, I was just born into this world. I didn't know my mom was going to be a whore. Like, little Johnny could have been, maybe the person that solved the world cancer, world hunger. Now he's just a kid whose mother's a whore, and he's going to work at a gas station, and he's going to
don't do that to little Johnny.
He's gonna put fucking chili on chili dogs and hand them to fucking rednecks that are angry and meth heads going, counting out change to buy their fucking chili dog. That now poor little Johnny, whose mother was a whore, is putting hot cheese on top of it to a meth head. It could have been one of our great minds, but his mother had to choose to be a whore and show her ass.
You had to show your asshole.
It doesn't start with the asshole. It starts with the tits. So it's like they always talk about the gateway drug. The gateway drug is, listen, everybody has nipples. The tits are the gateway drug to the porn scene.
What's the difference?
People flash tits at concerts, Guns N' Roses concerts, whatever, your whole life, every concert.
What's the big deal?
Nelly, Jay-Z, tits, everybody, Mardi Gras tits. Hey, what's the big deal? I'm just gonna flash my tits and get a couple bucks online. People are tipping for the tits.
That's all I'm doing.
They can already see the tits through my bikini. So what?
But after a while, though,
and
after
then
a while, the tits dry up.
They dry up, just like if they were milking. And then you have to go bigger. You got to go bigger because the people that were giving the people that are giving you money, they're tired of seeing your same old two tits. Yeah, they're tired of seeing it. Now
I think you're going to be wrong. What's the next step?
To tits? The ass. I would think before the pussy. The pussy's usually last.
Gotta be the ass.
A lot of ass shots,
then the asshole.
And then they sneak over the panties for the pussy shot. And then at that point, what's left? It's just spread your asshole and gape for me. Gape. Bitch, shove a hamster in. Do you have a rabbit? Could you put a fucking carrot out your ass and have the rabbit eat it? I'll give you $50. That's where it goes. So the point being, the moral of the story, because we are a moral and ethical Catholic, very religious podcast. Don't show your nipple. Don't go down that path of gateway pussy money drugs.
Yeah.
Don't show your vagina. Don't show your asshole. Don't put a carrot in your ass. Don't get involved with rabbits.
Think about your legacy.
Think about little Johnny, your son. You're just not going to name him Johnny. He's going to be called something else. Chris, Kyrie, doesn't matter. Julio, Esteban, anything
Michael.
You're going to call him. Michael, Philip, your mother's. You know what I mean? It's going to be a full entourage of names and people. You don't want your son to see you filling up when his name's Philip. That's a bad. Hey, Philip, you want to see what else will Philip? Here's your mom. You don't want to do that to your kid. You don't want to even have to think, well, I can't name my kid Philip. There's like 700 videos of me being filled up. I can't name him that. Now I need to name him something else, but I love the name Philip. You can't do that.
Name the kid Philip. Yeah. No.
You gotta do the right thing. And that's where
it makes sense, Beans.
Yeah, that's where we'll bring it back to church. You have to.
Don't bring it back to church.
No, you have to. You have to do the right thing. You have to live by God's word. You have to adhere to the principles of the Bible. And I think not showing your pussy, asshole, nipples are probably up there, not in that order. Reverse it, like the food guide pyramid. Flip it around, and I think that
And
that's
stick it.
stick it. I think that biblically, this is a different Bible study. We're actually kind of a Bible study show. You know what I mean? We talk about things in a different way, but biblically, this is how do you keep your daughter off the pole? How do you keep her from being a whore in this day and age where people are throwing money at your hot daughter, etc. This is how you do it. And I think this provides incredible value for parents out there, especially newborn parents with kids. Maybe just had your daughter looking at this sweet little angel, just came out of your wife's womb, covered. At first you thought it was an alien. Now you think it's beautiful. You're like, I love it so much. How do you keep it off the pole? This is how you do it. You love it and you tell it not to be a whore. And you explain, that these things happen. Money is not your value. Your goal in life is
What you might want to do? You might want to show them. You might want to show them an episode of Beers and Brawlers that talks about it.
Correct. We will keep your daughter, because we keep it real here. The kids can tell if they're listening to this, they know we're not fucking lying to them. I mean, this is all real talk. This is like R. Kelly, real talk. We're not bullshitting you. We're trying to keep. Yeah, you can't pay for your dinner tomorrow because you didn't show your nipple. But
you think I'm pissing on your leg?
But for long term, I mean, can you imagine the littered road of see, for me, and I've seen this many times over. I don't know if you have, but there is women have we'll call it a Venn diagram of when they're hot, their opportunities, and when they age, the statistical significance and the opportunities change. And at some point, they go from being smoking hot to replaced by a new generation and or not hot anymore for the most part. Happens to women before us. Men, we have, extended mathematical opportunities. The older we get, the more opportunities we have. But when you watch the super hot ones that were the king of the crops, they turned down guys that were great guys, that were beautiful guys, like good looking men. I say beautiful, like better looking men than you could imagine, gorgeous, sexy, Rome god looking
Brad
men.
Pitt.
Yeah, Brad Pitt, by the way, gayest thing I've ever said, but I'm fine with that. And now, and I'm saying it for effect, now they're with like trolls. Now they're married, and the men they're with,
because they want to be treated nice.
No, they it's like a stock. They sold too late. So they had the opportunity to sell early.
Oh, their stock went down. Okay.
They thought that they could, everything was going so well. The opportunities were plentiful. They had opportunities at the top. They decided not to sell. It took them a while to realize, oh my God, the opportunities have dropped, because the opportunities were still there here and there. You know what I mean? And by the time they realized it, they're like, oh shit, I don't have those opportunities anymore. I need to sell. And at that point, somebody else is there that becomes, and you look at who they marry and you're like, oh shit, that girl who was always with those guys married the guy that looks like he could have a gas station shirt on. Like, what
she wouldn't even have known his name back then.
Wouldn't have talked to him, wouldn't have breathed near him. So the moral of the story there is, if you're an older guy, whatever, you can catch a falling star. Or if you're a girl that's very pretty, sell at your peak. Look at yourself as a stock. Realize when you're Enron and getting ready to crash to the ground. You
sell
look
it now. Get out.
Realistic. If your makeup time increases by a standard deviation in order to cover the flaws, understand the clock is ticking. Like, if it takes you an extra 10 minutes to look presentable, realize, oh shit, I gotta find somebody tonight. my children. What do I have that I can? Who's been there for the longest? Because at
Too
some point,
sweet.
yeah, at some point it's going to come crashing down. This is the beauty of being me is I've never been gorgeous. So I've never had a crash. It's always been just, whatever I am. And
It's no fun crashing, man. I was gorgeous.
dude, you could still go out and get all you were the laziest, most worthless piece of shit. Like I'm being serious. I've never met a more worthless waste of talent in my entire life than you. Everybody, you're single and could still go out with your pedigree and just crush. But you sit here and go, man, back 20 years ago when I looked the exact fucking same, look at how pretty I was. Now you're going to fucking church and jerking off the 5 women who are married, going, look at these married bitches. I'm in church thinking about fucking married bitches. Look at what a good person I am. I'd fuck the girl around in row 2. Boy, I'd like
How
to.
do you fucking come?
Boy, I'd like to have the girl in row 3 see my cock right now. Wait, what?
Do you mean this?
What psalm are you reading right now? Is there a psalm about me putting my penis in row 4?
Come on, man.
This church is awesome. No wonder you
Hey,
don't
remember the
talk about
promise
the
you
church.
made.
No
Remember
wonder
the
you don't want
promise.
to talk about
Remember the promise.
No wonder you won't talk about the church. Your thoughts are filthy. You're a
You're not gonna disgrace the church.
I didn't disgrace you. Disgraced the church. You've mapped out
Bullshit.
5 girls. You've mapped out every fucking hot chick in that church. They're all married, and these are girls you want to fuck. And you're telling me that I've disgraced your church? You are. You, no wonder you won't talk about the church.
It's over. Wave it off.
Talk about the church either if I were you.
Wave it off.
You throwing in the towel?
Wave it off.
Are you throwing in the towel?
It's over. It's over.
The fight's over. All right.
Stop it.
Yeah.